Hey everyone, and welcome to Comic Breakdown. If you're new to the channel, do me a favor and hit that sub button and hit that notification bell. Make sure you're not missing any of the content that we have coming out. Now, we've already started covering a little bit of Future State this week, and now we're going to dive into the last 3 issues, starting with Future State Shazam, issue number 2. Now, issue number 2 of Shazam is actually a lot of fun. It actually brings some closure to what happened in Teen Titans, as well as what happened in issue number 1 of Shazam. And so in Teen Titans, what we saw is Raven essentially absorbing the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, and then them trapping her inside the Rock of Eternity. And then in Shazam issue number 1, we saw Billy and Captain Marvel separated from one another. Billy, because of his innocence, is sitting there guarding the gate, while Captain Marvel is up on Earth fighting for justice. So if you have not been keeping up with the Future State line, go ahead and check out the link in my description, as well as the top of this video. It'll get you completely caught up on everything Future State related. And with that being said, let's dive into this issue. Alright everyone, so diving into issue number 2, our opening page, we see Billy tied up, blocking the doorway so that the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse cannot be released. And patiently on the outside, Neron and a lot of demons are begging to get inside. And then we pick up on Earth, and we see Miss Martian, Question, and a few others, and they have Shazam locked up. And Shazam is in there with Vixen, and they're trying to figure out what's been going on with him. No one can remember the last time that he gave up his powers, that he said the word Shazam and became Billy again. And they're concerned because those 4 walls are magically reinforced to withstand the strength of Hercules, but they can't hold him forever. And this is when we cut over to Vixen having a conversation with Captain Marvel. And she's letting him know that Mary's been calling and she's worried. And she told him that he's just been under a lot of stress, which in a sense is true. But Vixen wants the truth. And he is asked why he did it. Why he killed Thunder. Why he killed Ryder. Why he killed Slade. And why he killed Martian Manhunter. Now, killing Slade is actually the real big takeaway from here, because I don't think that they've mentioned this yet before, that Shazam was the one to kill Slade, or even that Slade was dead to begin with. And Vixen tells him, I don't understand any of this. I don't understand why you haven't let go in so long. And everyone keeps calling him Billy. And every time he hears that name, he just freaks out. He loses it. And this time is also no exception. And we see Shazam blast out of the room, going through the ceiling like it's nothing. And then we're brought back to Billy. And Neron is letting everyone know that the time is near, and that everyone needs to gather close because there will be room for all. And Billy tells him this wasn't the deal. And Neron says, but it was. Someone who is still possessed with the wisdom of Solomon would understand this. You remain here with the Rock and me, while your burly protector continues to fight for truth and justice wherever the heck that is. But of course, with all that raw power just begging for some kind of release, he was bound to get a bit lost. And he didn't have the clarity, the vision that he gains when Billy is with him. And now, lacking Billy's vision, Neron has replaced the vision with his own. And so now he sees whatever Neron wants him to see, though none of it is actually real. But of course he doesn't know that, and he just believes what he is seeing. And then this is when Billy pieces together that Neron has been working for the Horsemen of the Apocalypse, though it's not necessarily a partnership, but it was more of a trap that they set for him, one that ensnared both of them. But Neron does appreciate the utter irony of him trapping them, and now in return, he is trapped there as well. And then we take back over to Shazam, and he's standing over a woman, but she seems to be dead, and we're not sure if Billy is the reason that she is dead, but it's a good possibility. The shard that he has from the Spear of Destiny around his neck laid bloody, his fist as bloody as can be. But this is when the team shows up to take him on, and they tell him he needs to say the words. He needs to say Shazam, and he refuses. He flies off into the sky, and this is when he's met by the one and only Spectre. And Spectre saying only one word. He says, enough. And so they head back to Morningside Heights. And Shazam is pleading with Spectre to let him go. But Spectre's telling him no, like it's not going to happen. And Shazam saying, with every moment that I'm bound, a life, a soul is lost. And even he can't see everything, though Spectre does see the soulless thing that Shazam has become. And Shazam asks him, what is it that you have seen? And he touches his head. And his immediate thoughts, his first word is devilry. And this is when Shazam straight up attacks Spectre. And Spectre asks him, how long have you been like this? I have witnessed each of your actions and balanced them against those you undertook in the name of justice. And he says, give me testimony, and presses his finger to his forehead. And this is where he learns everything. We saw a victory in the fight with the forces of darkness, a sacrifice. That was Raven, the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse, and Billy being tied to the door. Him and the Titans did what they could, and the plan was for Shazam to stay down here and guard this door. But Neron made his arrival, letting him know that he could split himself into 2, and that Shazam could go up on the surface world. Captain Marvel could be up there fighting while Billy is protecting the door. And so a deal was struck. The boy remained at his post, his innocent soul binding the door shut. But Captain Marvel never knew that everything that he's been seeing was just an effect of the gift the devil had bestowed upon him. To make up for his lack of vision, he gave him his own vision. But the devil's eyes played tricks on him. They showed him enemies that did not exist and turned his hands into the hands of the devil's work. Neron tricked him into murder, and the only one that might have been able to stop him was Billy, which would ripped from him. His heart had been taken, and Billy, a child without the wisdom of Solomon to guide him. But all to what end? What is Neron's purpose? Why send such evil into the world? Knowing your deeds would attract the watchful eye of the Spectre. And as he goes to finish that sentence, he is stabbed in the side by the shard of the Spear of Destiny. And we see the Spectre fall to the ground, bleeding out and dying. And everyone runs in to see the Spectre is dead. Billy turning to them, seeing demons behind them, saying to leave them alone. And this is when Question comes into the room and lets Shazam know that he is out of control and someone's got to stop him, and the only one that can is him. And this is when Deadman comes out of his body and goes into Shazam. And in that instant, he says the words that everybody has been trying to get him to say. And they say Shazam. And Billy, mortified about what just happened, because he knows the gates are no longer guarded. And now Neron can complete his task. And this is when the door opens, and Neron greets the unkindness. The power of Shazam and the last living shard of the Spear of Destiny had killed the Spectre. And so there is nothing left to fear in this world, and it leaves room for this new and improved Raven mixed with the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse known as unkindness to lay siege upon the earth, with Neron getting the Rock of Eternity. And that will be the end of this issue. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. This issue was absolutely phenomenal. I love this story, and I honestly cannot get enough of it. Now, we do see the unkindness return in Future State Black Adam. So we'll get a little bit more of it next week, which I'm super excited for. And I really hope that we get more of this storyline, because this has probably been one of my favorites coming out of the Future State line. Everything doing with Shazam has been phenomenal. The fact that they split Billy and Captain Marvel into 2 individuals, and we've seen 2 different personas break out that have been completely unsuccessful in doing their jobs, is exactly why these 2 should always be together. It's a yin and yang factor. They need one another to thrive. So all in all, I have to say it was freaking amazing. And the artwork at the end, seeing Raven like that with the Shazam costume and all that, mixed with her own little thing going on, it's phenomenal. The unkindness is going to be freaking awesome, and I can't wait to see how powerful that individual is. But yeah, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not yet, please do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, check out Comic Breakdown and more podcasts available on iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. We have a link down in the description as well, so you guys can find easy access of getting a hold of it and checking out everything we have covered. We drop a new episode every Friday talking about all the newest comics, to include King in Black, Future State. We talk about cinema like WandaVision and the Justice League trailer. And with that being said, until the next video.